photography. My name is Julia and I am answering the questions about photo shoots. Photo shoots for singles, photo shoots for couples, and photo shoots with hot and sexy models. And have a list here of different kind of questions that people would like to know and just sending me to get more information, right? So I would just start straight away. Hi there, I would like to book a photo video shoot for our anniversary in that time. We have a hotel booked already. We would be able to visit. Would you be able to visit the hotel, and can you let me know what options are available for us for the shoot, please? Okay, so this question is for photographer to visit a hotel, and this is a couple who is celebrating something, right? When people are celebrating, they're creating a special events, right? And special events, when you want something exciting to happen, you need to plan this. Yes. So some people are planning a month, a few months ahead. Believe me, some people are planning a year ahead and more. Okay, depending on people actually, right? So I would like to tell you that yes, I am available to go and visit a hotel depending where the hotel is. This is an out call. Usually I shoot at my studio because I have a private studio, creative studio for adults, and we shoot different styles of photography, which includes portraits, boudoir, glamour, couples, nude and explicit scenarios, fetish scenarios, and make love stories that include intimate moments, penetration scenes, and adult fantasies, right? And also, I can invite models to create certain content that couples would like to try. For example, threesome, right? You cannot shoot threesome without a model, you know? You have to have a third person in there, right? So there are different fantasies. This specific question is related to a special anniversary that that couple is going to celebrate, and they would like to book an erotic photo shoot. And they would like a photographer to visit them. Okay, so usually I would like to know the date. Okay, I would want to know the location, what the hotel is. Of course, I would like to check that information, right? Maybe I will ask the ID that the couple would provide, right? And of course, to reserve the date and book a service, there is a deposit payable in advance. Okay. So, what options are available? They asking. What the options are available? So they can have a makeover. Okay. Also, like a beauty professional arriving to hotel and taking care of the lady, right? And also when I will arrive to the studio, I can bring two cameras and the lights. Okay, so one camera I can do a photography session. With another camera we can shoot videos. Okay, couple really very often request both mediums to create photography as well as hot and sexy videos. Okay, so these are the options, and of course when we create the content, then it will be clear what kind of the post-production there will be, what we will be making, right? But very often I can offer as well packages because the couple, the clients have already a certain budget in mind, okay, and that they would like to spend for this specific event. So I can tailor this offer individually, depending on what they like to shoot. Okay, some people are very conservative, okay, and they go into romance, into like something soft, okay, something very vanilla style. And some people are extremely open-minded, and they will have toys and props and outfits, and they would like to try different kind of fetish scenarios depending. So that's all on the preference. And of course, the risky and the frisky it gets during the shoot, the pricey it gets. That's of course. The longer I stay in the studio, in the hotel with the couple, the longer the video will be, the more pictures I will take, the better it gets. Okay, usually it's this way, right? So I hope I answered this question. Okay, and I'm saying quickly hi to everyone, and I'm answering today questions about erotic photo shoots. And the next question would be, can you take private photos for a portfolio? Can I take private photos for a portfolio? The answer is yes. Okay. The word private, it's questionable to me, because all photo shoots that I make are private. Okay, it's just the privacy. There is at a certain extent privacy, and different studios provide different privacy. Okay, so my studio provides a certain privacy when no one knows who you are. Okay, we do not reveal your identity. We do not share any information, what includes photo shoots, any communication, right? But I allow myself to use part of the images where people are not recognized. Okay, because when I shoot, I create art. I'm not able to create it, to recreate it. Okay, this is just one and unique off gig. Okay, there will be no other copies. Okay, that's how I roll. So when I use the images of the photography that I take, I'll take the head off, crop it, right? So no one knows. No one knows who you are. You can know, right? You know how your coochie looks like, but no one knows. Okay, so that's kind of a privacy I offer to my clients, and that is why it's reflected in the price, okay, that I offer. When it comes to the shoot that they want to own the images and they want to own copyrights, and that could be an option of this question, that can you take the private photos for a portfolio, right? So then they will need to pay and fill up the form, okay, non-disclosure agreement form, and they buying these images, and these images cost 10 times more than usually. Okay, so that's an option. Yes, of course, I sell the images. Okay, I sell the images, but most of my photo shoots are on the sharing copyright basis, that I do not limit my clients in the usage. They can do whatever they want. They can sell them, they can advertise, they can post them, they can, they can do whatever, right? And the same time, I allowing myself, okay, to use the art part of the content. And the art part of the content that I create, it's not their face. There is nothing, I see art in their face, but we use body. Okay, we use body. And when you go to my gallery at my website, they're all images are cropped. Okay, they are cropped, and we represent the artwork erotica, unless the people who has a face are models, because clients, when they booking models, they want to see how the model looks. Okay, because they choosing by the looks. Okay, they choosing by the looks. So that's what the question was. Private photos, yes, but then you need to ask it in advance, and you need to fill the form, okay, and sign the form with me, with a certain reflection, financial reflection, right? It will reflect on your on your bank, when you will be buying a copyright, right? Okay, next question is, hi Julia, just curious if you have any appointment openings on this and this date. My wife and I will be in London on those 2 days and may be interested in doing a photo shoot if you are available. Okay, if you are available. So this is quite a short notice, right? Situation, quite short notice. I do have, and I can find availability on a short notice, but most of the clients and most of the people are looking way ahead and booking in advance. And that's what I like, okay? That's what I like. They book a photo shoot and they pay a deposit. Okay, and deposit for a couple, if they do not do any intimate sexual scenarios, okay, like seriously, they don't do anything, naughty in the studio. They can kiss, they can touch, they will be dressed, they could be semi-nude, topless, for example, lady, right? Or wearing lingerie, okay, but they do not do any intimate sexual activity, right? So the deposit is 540. But if couple knows that they want to arrive to the studio and have make love scenes taken, okay, intimacy in the studio, deposit is higher, okay, and the packages are different, right? Just because of the complexity of the shoot is changing. Okay, it's changing. When people having corn shoot, a hardcore shoot in the studio, it's a totally different than boudoir shoot, because you see, when you're shooting boudoir, this is a limited service. Okay, you're shooting beauty, you're shooting lighting, you're shooting posing, you're shooting body framing, you're shooting different things, right? When you're shooting corn scenarios, that is a totally different shoot, right? So deposit is different, is higher, and the packages, of course, is higher, right? So you can do a last minute photo shoot and book a last minute photo shoot. I do not mind, okay, but then the flexibility will be different, right? So it could be a very early shoot, or it could be a quite late shoot, depending, right? Depending, but that's an option, yes. Okay, and let me tell another question, and I will say hi to everyone here who's watching. Today I'm talking and answering questions about photo shoots for adults, okay? Adult photo shoots. I am a kinky and open-minded that's the year 21-year-old male. I would be interested in any modeling job vacancies you have. I'm comfortable with my body and love to be naked and erotic. Please get in contact with me and I can send you more information or any pictures. So first of all, when the model is contacting me, right, they have to send pictures straight away. Okay, straight away. This is their job. Okay, and they have to have a professional portfolio, not pictures that they taken, somewhere by themselves. Sometimes there are great shots. Okay, because people getting more and more advanced using photography, I must say, right? But there are so many shots, and I can tell you why you need professional portfolio when you're doing adult business. You are not selling yourself to me, okay? I will be showing these pictures to the clients who will be paying, okay? Who will be paying. So that is why you need professional pictures, because you will be between the competition of other men, okay? So when I hire a model for a shoot and there is a request from the couple, most of the time couple, if it's a male, 21-year-old, he has no experience, okay? He has to be very good looking, okay? People are choosing and paying for best models, okay? What the confusion with model is that they think that if they are willing to have intimacy and undress in front of other stranger peoples, they will be suitable, but that's not the case. Okay, because when people what's that? That's cool, mustache. Okay, when people want to have erotic fantasy, they want to invest. Okay, when paying money, they want the best one. Okay, the hottest one, the most experienced one, with the greatest body, with the greatest, mindset, right? With the biggest size. Okay, so everything has to be on point, top level, top level. I can tell you, most of the time they're hiring top level. What is 21-year-old boy can offer? Right? 21-year-old male need to have an experience. Okay, that's why he is thinking that if he will apply to the studio, that's where he will get an experience. No, the most likely option for this young man is to create a professional portfolio. Most likely he has no money, okay, because he did not send me pictures, right? So clearly he will be shooting himself. People who has a portfolio and know the drill, they have experience and they are sending me email with the pictures attached, okay, straight away. That's an experience. Someone who's writing me an email and I will send you pictures later is straight away, a situation clear to me, right? So these men who want to start adult business, right? They need to fund themselves. Okay, starting minimalistic, paying for minimalistic portfolio, going on adult independent websites, applying there, okay, and putting your pictures, getting more work, getting experience, and getting money, okay, getting money to fund themselves again to put a bigger portfolio then, okay, for themselves. So that's like managing themselves. What the young guy think that they have an erection and they're willing to undress and have intimacy, that people straight away will take them. Okay, that you will be very valuable. You would be surprised, but I have this Telegram channel, okay, Love Warriors on Telegram. Go and find it. And there are a lot of men in there who would want to participate, great looking men for free, you know? So when I pay models, and I only pay models, I do not invite models for free, okay? Clients investing in that person, and the person feel obliged, to perform, to bring the standard, to show up on time, to get dressed well, okay, when he's visiting the studio. It's just like a business situation, okay, not a charity organization, right? So that's how it is. Okay, one more question, right? One more question. Hi, my husband has a cock holding fantasy which I'm not adverse to, especially with a hunky fella. So I was really interested to find your site. Having looked at the photos and videos, I wanted to ask, your models really have unprotected intimacy with your clients, or it is clever shot so it is just looks like they do? Very good question, right? Very good question. The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. There are clients who would like to shoot bareback. That's true. Okay, so there is no clever shot and there is no pretending in there. Okay, but what we do is we, of course, you see, models, they also care about their health, right? So they have to do checks every 3 months if they are in adult business. And when we're shooting a significant shoot, I'm collecting a interesting budget for them, right? So this budget, to get this budget, includes to provide a good health check test, right? So that's included. And this is something what I'm taking care of and I'm sending to the clients. And then they are happy and they feel, secure about this, right? But it's included in their fantasy. Some people just want to feel all the excitement and have it this way. Okay? Most of the time, right? It's a very important question to talk about, right? Because we discuss this and they know straight away how they want it, right? So the answer is that yes, we're doing both. Okay, we're using condoms, of course, right? We do. The girls really like to use when you're booking a model, female model, she will always use the condom. Okay, always, unless and a model, female model is more pricier anyway, right? It is the only industry where that is like that woman getting paid more. Okay. When it comes to men, right? When it comes to men, uh, we discussed this question. So females most of the time shoot with a protected face, with the protected using protection. And when we shoot photo shoots with the male models, very often we don't. Okay, woman just who is participating, woman just usually is mature lady, right? Couple fantasy. There are young generations. I'm not saying that young people don't shoot this fantasy, right? But most of the time, people who ask, they are mature couples. They want full-on experience because they're paying for it. Okay, so they're choosing. They're very picky on their model as well. So that's why, and the model, of course, comes pricier with that, right? Okay, what is this? 19 minutes. Let me just check what I have here. Good morning. I want to work with you. I'm 25 years old, good body. What is everyone's salary? And where is any vacancies? Okay, this is another question to become a model. Okay, to become a model. I am working with models who are professional. Okay, someone who just arrived somewhere or turn on 21, I'm not interested in that type of modeling. Okay, or models. I am interested with people to work with people who has a certain mental state, certain experience, certain looks. Okay, these are very special models, right? And I am more inclined to choose those models who I know and I shot before. Okay, so I have a certain number that I work with. I'm not like an agency who have 200, 500 girls. No, this is not the situation. I trust these people. I work with them very closely. I know them. It is easy for them to create, with them to create erotic fantasies. They're very flexible. They're very, thank you. They're very open-minded. And you know what I like about adult models? They don't look at the time. Okay, they're there to create this art. They're there to be with this client and to make this fantasy. Okay, so I choose those models. Okay, and I want to work. But when we uh, have no match for a model, then I go to agency. Okay, escort agencies who work with VIP elite models, right? And then you choose like a just a very gorgeous lady. Okay, and service could be okay, but because of her looks, okay, it's always paying off. Seriously. Because of her look is always paying off. So that's another option what I do. Okay, looking for an idea on cost for a shoot for my partner with one or two models. Male with male or male with female, possibly BDSM style. Partly for her to enjoy the role play and the shoot in one. Okay, so this is writing a guy who is looking to book a photo shoot for his partner. It's a girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend. Sorry, it's a girlfriend or a lover, right? And these are one or two models. But how is this? Two models. Oh, okay. So they want to hire two models, two males or one male and one female. Okay. So this is the situation. Okay. Because if you hire two males, you can say that this is a straight shoot. If you hire two models, one is male, one is a female. Okay. So this is not a straight shoot. Model has to be female. Model has to be interested in ladies. You understand what I'm saying? Because the service is gonna be towards the client. It's not gonna be two models having the service. Like when you book male and female and they having a service and someone is watching, like a couple. Okay, no, that's not the case. This is going to be the service with two models towards this lady. Okay, and this guy clearly has a lot of fantasies, and he mentioned that it's going to be BDSM style. Okay, so it's going to be soap and dominant situation, role play scenarios. Okay, in the shoot. And what would be the cost? Okay, so what would be the cost? So how I calculate the cost? First of all, I want to know the location. Is going to be my studio or is going to be hotel? That's the first thing. Then the second thing, I see how many people will participate in the shoot. Okay, so it's going to be this guy and his girlfriend or a lover or a partner, right? And then two models. So it's going to be four people in the studio, right? So they are going to pay for four people in the studio because four people are involved, right? Then it depends, is it a photography or is it a video? Okay, that's, or maybe both. Okay, and then it will involve a fee for a model because model will provide the service. So that's, I am explaining now how the cost comes, from where, from where this number comes, right? So they're going to pay these two models directly, right? For me, they are going to pay for four people shoot, right? Depending on what is this, what we're doing. How long is the shoot? Okay, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay, depending how long. And then they will pay for post-production part. Okay, and it is very hard to, how to say, calculate straight away because I don't know how long is the shoot. Very often They book 1 hour or 2 hour session, and then they stay in the studio 4 hours. Okay, so that's the cost eventually rise up at the end, but we can choose the packages and have a certain certain frame what we shooting. There are different options how to go there, but this is of course a premium service. Every time when they are inviting adult models in the studio, it's never going to be a budget shoot. I'm not interested in budget models, working with budget models. Okay, I'm not interested to create these shoots. They're going to be only premium sessions, right? And premium sessions, I would say this is between 5 and 10 grand session, depending how long. Okay, and depending what would be the situation, because there are 4 people involved, right, in a shoot. So I would be just very quickly answering this question like this, right? But usually where it starts from the deposit. Okay, you are reserving a studio for 4 people and you're paying the deposit. That's how it starts. Okay, what is this? 26 minutes. Great. Let me have another question and I will be saying hi. Okay. Hi, thinking about trying something like this with my wife, but we are both pretty shy and nervous. Very good question. Okay, very good question, because it's so obvious and so often, okay, people who are doing erotic photo shoot for the first time very often writing me this, that they're very shy and very nervous, that they're considering, but they're scared, okay, and they worry, okay, and our budget would be uh, below the thousand. So I suppose the economy package. I read on the website that means the studio would be shared with other people. Studio will be shared with other people during the shoot, so it wouldn't just be us and the photographer, for example. And I understanding right. So there is an option, right? There is an option, okay, that you can be sharing the studio with other couple, right? It was in a budget section, right? But my budget section now shrink down so much that I wanna just sell standard shoots and premium shoots, okay, premium shoots. But yes, there is an option that you can join with another couple, and you see why I see this logical. I see this logical in one way, that the couple would like to shoot certain scenarios in certain outfits. When they go to the studio to change, take 5-10 minutes, okay, to change. In 10 minutes, I can shoot the other couple, okay, instead of waiting while they're getting ready, right? And that's gonna be like this, right? But this is how other studios work, okay? This is how a normal studio work. When you go in to do the boudoir or any kind of portrait and fashion, they work as a conveyor experience. This is no surprise to anyone. When you go to the studio, this is what will happen very often, that while you're changing, they will shoot someone else on the same background and do this, right? So that's the thing. Okay, but I am always, how to say at the beginning, I am always offering the best service. Okay, and the best service is one-to-one experience, private experience, and premium, right? When we are open-minded and we are not limited to anything, okay, and we create unlimited session to the climax. That's the whole point of it, right? That's what we're doing, right? So I always suggest invest in that. If you don't want to be with someone else, right? This is your option to choose a standard shoot, okay, or to choose a premium shoot. Because what happens is this, that the budget options are are limited options, limited by the budget, and of course they should be limited by the service. So the service what you have is dressed, semi-nude, nude experience. What the couple wants to do is to undress in the studio and have make love. Okay, that's very often interest of the couple, why are they choosing my studio? Because I do not have limitations to erotic fantasies and intimacy, right? That's what I'm creating. That's where is my jam, right? So when you have a budget, you can have just one option, is this. You can have one-to-one shoot, but I am not editing your content. Because editing and post-production is the most time consuming, you know? That's how it works. Then it will work out for me. Okay, so if we can have this type of agreement, but you tell me who wants unedited pictures? The ones who husband is an editor. Okay, it happened to me when couple is saying that, oh, my husband can do editing. Is it okay if we shoot for this price and you just drop us the files and we will do it, right? Then you can have this agreement. It's very rarely, this happen, but it's an option. If you go privately to edit erotic content, explicit content, penetration content, you will pay the fortune. I can tell you, you would pay the fortune because people don't know how to edit. They, in general, they are, how to say, they're scared of this type of work. And there are a lot of taboos in editors' field as well that they do not do anything sexual. Okay, and when they do sexual, they don't know how to edit. Okay, because it's very, very rare that it will come across. There has to be specific editors, so it's not straightforward to find one, right? Just push this past our, so that will be probably just push this past our comfort level, unfortunately. Okay, understandable, right? I'm saying hello now. Thank you so much for joining me. I am just reading out and discussing these questions that they're leaving on my website and asking about erotic photo shoots. And now I'm taking my time to say hello and and talk about photography and videos for couples. Okay, photo shoots in different styles, right? And with me you can talk about photo shoots that are how to say, that are classic, right, which is a boudoir style. Yeah, portrait, nude art photography, but also I go beyond that. Okay, beyond that, because when couple is on the studio getting turned on with each other, creating romantic love story, very often they do not want to stop. Okay, and they want to see what happens next and how far they will go with this. Okay, and that's why they're asking these questions. Okay, they're asking these questions. Okay, let me scroll this and then talk to you. Okay, one message. Thank you for one message. Right, thank you for one message. Hello. I'm not saying names, okay? Even if you write the name, I'm very private in general, okay? I'm very private in terms of the names. So I'm not gonna say anything, right? Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for all of your highs. Hi, hello, hi, hello. If I see the message, I'll stop. Okay, two messages. That's very brave from you. That's good. Two messages is good. Okay, you have no questions about erotica, right? You have no questions about adult photography. You know everything. Yeah, today it's how to say, only professionals here. French. Okay, French. No, I'm not French. I don't know French. I don't know French. But I've been in Paris more than a few times. I did one shoot next to Moulin Rouge. This is a very nice hotel there. And I bring the model. I can tell you, I did the shoot in there and they chose the model. And I sent the options that I have, and that model was in Buenos Aires. And can you imagine that they just stuck on that model and they wanted specifically that model? I said, you need to bring that model then to Paris if you want to shoot with that model. And this girl was flying from Buenos Aires to Paris to shoot with that couple, which was an adventure for me. I usually hire models when they are local, okay, but are they local? So that was an unusual situation, but I really enjoyed it. You did adult film. I did many adult films. Okay, I shoot them, I direct them. Okay, I do all the creative content, right? And I make sure that they are not boring. That's what I do, right? In the studio. So the answer is yes. Okay, thank you for your hearts and other stuff. Okay, what is this other under three messages? Good. Okay. What is this Rex? What is this Christus Rex? Interesting. Okay, erotic photography pricing. I spoke a little bit about that. Okay. Erotic photography pricing depends on the professional. How long is in the industry? If someone who is starting out, of course you will get very, budget type pricing. People who just breaking into an industry. Someone who has an experience, already have a serious portfolio, they will be more pricey. Okay, so that depends what you want. Okay, depends with who you want to shoot. I can tell you about photography in this way. Okay, when you shoot erotica, when you shoot adult fantasies, doesn't matter what kind of a background is there, and even doesn't matter what kind of lighting. This technical stuff doesn't matter. If you are so embarrassed and scared and feel awkward around that person, you would not be able to do it in the right way, you know and when you shoot, even if you shoot technically, because it occurred to me, okay, many times, studios usually set up a certain way, okay, lighting, and it's a perfect lighting for a body portrait. But what happens is that the sessions become rushed. They do not go into the place where the person and the body and the mind is relaxed and experiences, you know, is in that moment. It's not somewhere else. It's not worrying. It's not overthinking, okay? The person is experiencing a present moment and he's enjoying that present moment. Being naked, you know, ruling it, controlling it, owning it, right? That's kind of a photo shoot. So it takes time. It takes time for normal person to get there. Okay, that's the thing with the photography. So usually photo shoots are limited, and you would have, for example, on the set 5, 10, maximum 15 minutes for one outfit. Okay, and they shoot, I don't know, up to 50 pictures, because if you choose from this setting, one, two, three, 5 pictures maximum, right? Why would they shoot 300 or 500? you know but I believe that I'm not shooting the number of the pictures. I'm shooting a person's energy, and with every picture we are stepping forward and getting to that point. Okay, so when people are looking at the photography, right, and they're choosing, for example, picture 72 to start with, right, it means it takes 71 images, shots, to warm up for that personality, that he is absolutely feel confident and happy with the sexual energy. Okay, that's how many steps it took us to lead that person to that successful shot. If I have a model at the studio, of course this process is much quicker, right? It happens faster. They're more confident, they know what they're doing. Okay, they easily can rock any kind of stage. Okay, adult models are how to say, have a different asset, different presence when they're in the studio. They do not close, they want to undress. They want to show, they want to perform, they want to create a hit, okay? They're not shy. They know the competition is very high there. But when you are with normal people, They are not competing with anyone, they're competing with themselves. Okay, so every shot is better. Most of the time, the rule is this. Okay, that's how it goes in the studio. Okay, let me go quickly and just let me finish this if we have. I want to do what you do. How much will it take to start? That's the good question. Okay, you want to do what I do. I do, or I am in adult business 20 years. Okay, 20 years. So I started in 2005. Okay, that's when I started, right? So you start in 2026 most likely, right? Because now you're just thinking. Doesn't matter where you start. It's important with who you start. You know, when I was starting out, I write all the studios and no one wanted to talk to me. I said I'm gonna bring coffee, I'm gonna, polish the lights, I'm gonna do whatever. No one cared. Now I understand why. I don't want any strangers around there. I don't want any newbies. I don't want anyone, in my studio. Seriously. Now I understand. Okay, so I understand why I didn't have a chance. So I had to hire. I had to hire photographers. I had to hire studios, right? To teach me. I had to go and educate myself in photography, right? I had to graduate. And the same time, I was already working. So that was a very big bonus, because I had the practice at the same time that I had the theory. Okay. And so I changed my profession here in London. But now we have ChatGPT and now we just have Google. Okay. So all the information is there. Why you are not professional yet? Okay. Why? Just type in, okay? You can learn the photography skills there. The only thing what you cannot find is, of course, how to run and do erotica, because there is no course like that. There is no people, there is no university or a college who will explain you and tell you these things. So you would need to find individuals who are doing these things like me, right? And so I have prepared a course. Seriously, it sits inside me. Okay, I just need to apply myself and start. And I already know where I start. I will start on Telegram. There will be a private group because there are so many people asking me they want to learn. Okay, and I've noticed that there are people who have no clue, so there will be beginners, and there are people who has already an experience and they've been photographers. Okay, they just want to change the sphere, how they work, right? Someone in food industry, fashion, advertisement industry, whatever industry they are, okay, they want to change it, and that's fine. So I can take them and lead them to this experience, right? And I can explain them what is important when they work with clients and how to go to the different check. For example, I've started shooting 60 pounds per session. Seriously, that's my starting point. But now I am shooting, like how to say, my deposit is 540 just for one person, okay? And shoots are over 1,000, and I am heading between 5 to 10 grand per shoot. Okay, so I kind of through those years raised up my ticket to the point that what I'm happy with and how I'm happy to work with, because I am working with sexual energy. Okay, people who, and this is something what you probably would want to understand and learn. Okay, so first of all, adult industry or erotic photography or erotic videos, there will be always popular because we have corn. Okay, we have corn and there is a very high interest, and regular person wants to try and see for itself. It's just in their fantasy, in their head, and the braver ones, they go and challenge themselves in that way, in their body, in their mind. Okay, and how if reflects on them. Okay, they actually understand how they are. This is their analysis of their sexuality, of their adulthood. So I am looking at this business not that I want to make more erotic fantasies and more kinky scenarios, but I want to learn, okay, about erotica, how these fantasies developed, and I analyzing everyone. And I'm so lucky that I have a lot of very good energies coming towards me, okay? Because erotica in general vibrates in a negative energy when there is perversy and rape and other stuff, right? When you're forcing, when you're beating people or something and getting pleasure, right? And there is another section of erotica where, rough is not fun, right? And there are different role play scenarios and games. Okay, so for me, I'm a scientist in here. You think I'm just a photographer? No. I have 4 higher degrees. Okay, so I'm working with these people and gathering the information about them. And information, what I'm gathering, is not how big is their boobs or how big is their bums or how big is their cocks. This is not the information I'm gathering. What kind of erotica vibration frequency they are in. Okay, and this frequency, you see, it actually can damage you as well. It's the same like you're going and sleeping with everyone around. Okay, you are making hooks on too many people and draining your energy. Okay, so when people are choosing a certain photographer where they feel comfortable to undress, to show their insecurities, to present their sexuality, to work towards the climax and abundance of that feeling, the passion that they feel, right? The drive, the thrill, the excitement, right? The sexual energy rises higher and higher. And that's where the frequency that I am feeding on. So I have this, you see, everyone, if you understand this, when you're experimenting in adult life or in your bedroom with someone, you have access to alter egos. Okay, adult has egos, right? Alter egos who are responsible for erotic fantasy. Okay, and they are in good and bad. That's why we can go into role play. We can be submissive and we can be dominant. Okay, depending on which egos come to play. And these egos would want to play strange things because when we go to porn channels, we watch different things. We will not even imagine that we have this type of attraction. It's not that we have. There are alter egos who wants to experience certain things. Like, I'm never judgmental in any kind of fantasy way when the couple is saying we want to hire one model or two model, or we want to have a couple fantasy shoot, threesome fantasy shoot, fetish, or dominatrix lady in the studio, or we want, he wants to choke me, or to tie me, or to punish me, or whatever, that kind of stuff. This is all the egos, energetical games. And during those games in the studio, you can change the atmosphere. Okay, seriously. That's the thing. So you are getting on not only into like adult business. If you want to be very distant, right, and just shoot how people are doing, you can do that. Okay, but I'm going further than that, right? So there are couples who will go into bedroom and just do things and they are getting bored of it with time, right? And then it's become very dull and relationship getting stale, and nothing is interesting because they're missing this energy. And yeah, erotica is a novelty. Erotica, when you are able to re-edit yourself, to boost yourself, to recreate your story, okay, to change you, who you are, even in the intimate frequency and vibration, right? The scariest part is this, okay, when the adults, when they are playing with their egos, they go into a child's energy, okay, and a child's energy comes back to you as a certain memory of yourself when you was a child or when you was in a traumatic experience. Okay, so what I'm saying is you will be exposed to a certain energy fields, okay, and you will be drained down or boosted during that session. Okay, you also can learn to be neutral in this situation, so not gonna be affected. So when people thinking, why do you think there are not many women in the adult field who are going further with erotic photo shoots? There are so many people who do not understand why they're doing it and what's happening. Okay? They understand that it costs and they're taking money for photography and then they will not getting involved with their clients. But I do. Okay? I do. Right? So I'm totally doing a different photo shoot, and it's not about photography and videos. It's about how far you can go with your sexual interest and your taboos on that moment, on that shoot. Okay, so it's not about the background, it's not about your lighting, it's not about the settings. This you can learn by yourself. I'm not going to teach any of that. I'm going to teach how connect to that content that you are able to extract from them. They're not going to give it to you. They're not going to open legs wide, seriously, if they don't want to, if they don't feel like, if you do not connect to their demons, to those alter egos, then they want to show, then they come out. Okay, so erotica for me, it's a frequency that people vibrate, and when they are in this frequency, they change, their body change, their face change. I am watching my videos, I can tell you, when I am in the kitchen cooking something, my facial expression is totally different and I look totally different. But the moment I come out and speak this topic, which is my favorite topic, which I know about a lot, and you should ask me questions because you will know even more. Right? I change. My expression is changing. My eyesight, my voice is changing. Okay? So I am in that frequency. And when I am in that frequency, I make people do crazy things. Okay? They trust me. They allow me to direct them, to tell them what to do. I'm able to stop them in the hardest hardcore moment. I just have a feeling that this is now we need to change the pose. Okay, now go and do this and you go do that. And they listen to me. These are adults who having a highest intimate moment, and Julia can come and redirect them in a totally different, vector, give them a totally different vector, because I just have that feeling where this energy goes and how to push them to a highest climax. Right, so that's what something what I'm going to teach in my erotic photography course for adults. Right, how to approach the clients, how to get those people coming to you. Right, how to work with them, what to say, how to talk, how to hold that intimate conversation, how to make sure that they will tell you everything, because erotic fantasies is something what they hiding. It is a taboo. They're not gonna tell you. Okay, seriously. If you think that they just met you and they told you exactly everything what they want and how they want to shoot, they're not. Okay? They're going to hold back. But if you are shooting the whole shoot when people are holding back, that's exactly what you're creating. Because they don't feel it 100%. Okay? So that's important to know. Thank you for asking me this question, right? You can join my course for adult photography, and then you will be more confident, because you see, it took me many years to go in that phase when I am an expert and when I am confident in what I do. And because I'm an expert, you know what I'm doing? I am not preparing for any shoot. I am not setting up anything. I don't care about safe shots. I don't work like the other studios. I straight away start from the blank, empty page. Nothing is prepared. We're doing it together. They are watching how I'm doing it for them specifically. Okay? I'm setting up the camera, setting up the lights, setting up the backgrounds. We are changing and we are choosing the right outfits for this specific scene. And that specific scene will involve this and this and this that we will discuss how we feel. And then we can go in the studio and change everything up if we have a different feeling towards this. And if I see that it's not working for them. Okay? So what is the plan? The plan is to hit into your intuition and into your creative energy. And that is a sexual energy. You create a human with a sexual energy. You create a great, project with the sexual energy. That's where you use it. Not only you make babies, right? But you create a lot of things around you. with that specific energy, right? So that's why. So this is something what we are learning there to cultivate, right? To understand and to work with. That's the topic. Okay. That's the topic. Okay. Two messages. I'm going to reply to new messages and I'm going to go. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for asking me questions. I think you guys are geniuses. Geniuses. How I can tell you this? Everyone is a genius. Okay, but human go through a certain development stage. Okay, and in the other life, maybe you will be the genius. Okay, it takes really a long time for someone. For me, it took 20 years. If I would have someone, a mentor, an experienced person who would tell me what to do about erotic photography and these clients and how to work and how to achieve these results, I would get there faster. That's all that it is, to have a certain person next to you and to have the right energy going along with you, right? When people understand what that is, what's happening, why when you are shooting, a client reacts this way or that way, how to break through that, surface. There are a lot of layers. There are people who will come to do an erotic photo shoot and they would hide all the time. You would feel this. Now I'm feeling everything. I can recognize them. Okay. Some people want to cover, some people want to put their masks on, some people want to hold something in their hand. Okay. To be grounded somehow, right? It is not easy to undress and perform, but it's absolutely making a change, drastic change into your life. First, you understand who you are because you feel it, and then you will have the full analysis, the full spectrum of the images to see how you reacted in a certain moment, on a certain way, what you was thinking. I'm taking a picture of people, what they're thinking, because they do think certain things, and I even see when they are losing themselves. Okay, when they're losing in the make love moment is amazing. I can see this, right? And when they overthinking, when they're in a doubt, when they doing a certain thing and they're scared, still scared, I can sense it, I can feel it. It's in, it's triggering straight away me. I'm not even wasting time. If I see that the person is moving in the studio and he still feels that negative energy, right? And what is negative energy? Negative energy is opposite of your sexuality and confidence. Okay? Did you see anyone sexy who was scared, afraid, feeling awkward, okay, nervous? Do you see anyone? This is a totally opposite, right? So if someone is feeling a negative energy, they will never create a sexy picture, is one thing. Then they never be confident in that picture. Okay, they can't slay it. They can't, you know, you can say that you fake it, right? You pretend, you act out, you can say this, but you can't lie to yourself, to your conscious. You can fool everyone else, but there are people also like me. I'm very sensitive to energy that someone comes. Okay, I can feel it how other people are feeling. I am so professional to the point that when I'm with the couple and the couple is making love, I can sense when they are coming, and they are not inside me. Okay, I know when to prepare the camera, although we always discuss this, that they have to tell me. Okay, but they're so switched off and in the other world that sometimes they can't and they just lose themselves, and I understand, but I'm saying I'm so in tune with them and their sexual energy and the rhythm and escalating together that I can feel, I can sense when this going to happen, so I will be ready. Okay, that's how it goes. Okay, I would so give it to you. Right. Okay, thank you so much. 8 new messages, great. 8 is good. I like 8. Okay, I have something for for to hold. I love your accent. Thank you so much. Okay. That's all that I can see now at the moment. If there will be anything interesting, I will get back or I will create live. Thank you so much for your attention. I was talking about erotic photo shoots for couples, for singles, and I am replying to questions what people are leaving on my website. Right? Thank you so much for your time. Love you, kiss you, mean it. Bye.